Hey everybody, welcome back. Grab your coffee. Today I'm using a eggnog mug for the holidays. This is my knee, so if we think we're sitting here, it's just because I have my knee propped up. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about, the title, why I'm no longer dating. I don't feel the need to date anymore at all. I just feel like, for several reasons, so we're gonna go into that, but pretty much the whole stigma that I think not only society puts on people, women, for dating and finding relationships, and not just them, but I'm guilty of it for doing it to myself. Social media definitely does not help at all. It makes it worse. So grab your coffee and get ready. Pretty much the reason why I am no longer dating, and I put this in quotations because obviously, like, if I meet somebody along the way and I feel like they are worthy enough of my time, or they have something to not necessarily offer you, but I think they add to you. They don't take from you. And I think the last few years I have definitely been through quite a bit. I've had abusive relationships, physically and mentally. And each time I've been through something like that, or just nothing as bad as that, but it seems like each time, or each person seems to hurt you a little more than the last. And I started looking at things like, why am I feeling, a void with these people that don't do anything but take from me. And not just physical things, I mean emotionally. They take and take and take until I'm the one who's left and feeling broken. And I'm sure some of you can relate to this, but after the very first time I've been very hurt, which would be the abusive and physical relationship a few years back. I think I was 21 at the time. Now I'm 28. And after that, I still found it in me to love and to give. And you would think that there would be a guard up or something, but there wasn't. I still continued to give and love the next person the same, if not more. And I've dated quite a lot and had my heart broken many times. But finally, with this last one, I decided, maybe I'm not going to date. And what started that whole thing was about a month or so ago. I met a new gentleman. He seemed great. Like, he probably is a great person. He's completely outside of my comfort zone. Not the typical type of person I would date. But I decided to give him a chance because I said, I've had people in the past tell me, well, it's not that you're, getting heartbroken because of everybody. It's the type of person that you're choosing to date, the type of man that I was attracted to. So this guy, I decided to give him a chance. I had heard all these great things about him, because I'm not going to say any names, but pretty much he was one of my closest friends, brother's friends, so like childhood friends. So I was like, okay, I'll give this guy a chance and see how it goes. He seems different. We don't really have that much in common, but maybe it can go from there, because there's a lot of people who don't have, this, and this, and this in common, but because they have good values and they're good people and they're true to themselves and others, then, I feel like that overrides that sometimes. So I went ahead and gave him a chance. Long story short, 2 weeks into it, he ghosts me. And there's a little more to it, but pretty much, he ended up ghosting me. And I had asked him a few days before he ghosted me, hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. I'm looking for a relationship. He says, these are his words, no, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm glad we're on the same page. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, that sounds good. Like, you know, obviously he's into me because he's saying he's glad we're on the same page. He's looking for the same thing I'm looking for, even though I didn't tell him that's what I was looking for, but I was just kind of like, oh, so, you know, a little surprised. A few days go by and I haven't really heard from him. So I'll backtrack a little bit. Actually, that conversation, that was an hour and a half conversation of us hanging out, like, over the phone, you know, talking, whatever. We had hung out several times before that. So when he told me that that's what he was looking for and he's glad we were on the same page, I assumed that, okay, cool, like, you know, maybe he's into me and he's looking for the same things I'm looking for and he's, like, feeling it too. A few days following that conversation, he ghosts me, and I finally got a hold of him. That was probably like a Friday night. I got a hold of him maybe at Monday night, and he finally called me back, and I was like, hey, so I'm just gonna be straight up with it. You know, I can't tell if you like me. The reason I say that is because I'm able to read people pretty easily, but again, I've only dated type A guy, and over here is type B that I've never had, so I can't fill him out. I actually kind of like the guy too, and I think what made me attracted to him more, not just his, you know, how he looked, because he's not ugly or anything like that, but I wouldn't say that he was completely what I would have went for. So, then following that, he goes to say, I was like, okay, well, do you like me because I can't read you? Well, you know, and he goes to start listing all these things about me. Alyssa, you're beautiful, you're, you know, sweet, you're funny, whatever, adventurous, and all these fucking things, okay? And then right after that, he says, but we're not vibing. Okay, that's cool. But we could still be friends, we can hang out and go do this, this, and this, and this that you like to do. And I was like, no, that's not cool, like, I don't want to do that, but thank you. And then following that, then he goes back to, I just feel like you can't hold a conversation. For me, that's the first time in my entire life, my whole 28 years, I've ever heard that said to me, because if anything, I'm the bitch that won't shut up. I talk too much, if not, you know, like, I talk and I listen and I just don't understand. And then I go back to the days that we hung out, and I was like, okay, so most of those times I was sitting here trying to spark the conversation. You were completely quiet. I was asking him about his interests, so like, me not being able to hold a conversation was very, very difficult to understand for me. It still is, because I don't get it. So anyway, back to that. That was just the reason. Like, I decided, you know, I had always been told, well, it's because you choose this type of person. It's not because I choose that type of person, because I tried somebody completely different. And I'm not saying that, you know, maybe someone else completely different wouldn't be the right choice for me. But after being hurt like that again, after just going through that for the last 2 years with somebody else, I just decided, you know what, I have way too many goals. I am going to focus on myself and put all my energy that I would have put into these people back into myself. So I'm sure I'm going to meet some people someday soon, but I'm definitely not looking for a relationship. I don't want any of that. It's just too painful. And for some people to understand, you know, once you've been hurt like that over and over and over again, I just don't want to feel that again. I don't, because I was doing great and I felt amazing. And then when I met this specific person, you know, the way he was treating me and acting and just like a gentleman, you know, what do they say? It's a snake in sheep's clothing. Definitely that way. And I go on to say this because about a week later, so a few days ago, which would be like about a week or so later, he messages me, hey, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, you know what, maybe he needs a friend. Like, it's fine. I already had established in that time I don't want to date, and it's fine, and I didn't want to hold anything against him. So I was like, okay, you know, nothing, why, what's up? He asked me to hang out, so I responded, okay, yeah, we can hang out, but I'm not going to sleep with you. After that, nothing. And so the following morning, you know, I messaged him and I said, you know, for somebody who's been through as much as you have, you should be more conscious of how you treat people, and you're just a shitty person. And for the first time in my life, I've said something like that to somebody. The truth, because you are. and then he pulls it back around on me and says that, yeah, you know, you're right. The whole, like, agreeing with you. You're right, but I didn't want to make things worse, blah, blah, blah. I was drunk. Okay? So if you're drunk, when some people are drunk, they go to the people that they are attracted to. Am I not correct? Like, is that not a thing? Maybe it's just me. But when I'm drunk and I'm in a relationship or attracted to somebody or crushing on somebody, that's the person I want to message. That's the person I want to hang out with, whether it be for sexual favors or just to hang out. Like, it does. I'm not saying that's what I would do, but, like, you know. So it's so freaking confusing to me. And I told him, I was like, you know what? I was just trying to be here as a friend for you. I wasn't trying to be anything more. So take your shitty ass excuse and apology and shove it right up your ass, because I don't care. Like, I am tired of being so nice to somebody and being shit on over and over and over again. And so I decided, like, you know what? Every time I start to find peace with myself, I feel like there's somebody new that comes along and just knocks me back down. So finally this time I'm trying to change my patterns and trying to change my habits on how I respond to people, or if an ex comes back into my life, how I'm going to respond to them, because I'm tired of it. I'm not doing it anymore. I would rather be single and happy and then in a relationship or situationship feeling like crap every day, wondering what they're doing, letting somebody gaslight you, letting somebody make you feel less than you actually are. I mean, I've spent, you know, a good part of the last 2 years chasing after a man who broke up with me. And I realized I'm sitting here trying to show you why you should get back with me when I did nothing. I did nothing. I wasn't the one who broke us. That was him. And now that I look at all these things and it's clear, like, why? There were so many things I've missed out on in the past because of relationships, you know, like family gatherings. Oh, I didn't want to go because I wasn't in a good mood because I was upset, or I left work early because I was upset, or I didn't want to hang out with friends after all. I fell into depression. And I think this is, you know, good advice for anybody. Don't let somebody make you feel less than you are. Don't let somebody who is temporarily in your life make you miss out on things that matter. And I'm now putting my energy into myself, into the things that I want to do, the things that I've said I was going to do for years, like, you know, read and learn numerology, for example, like, just anything random. I'm tired of dating and wasting my time and setting myself back because of other people. And I can't really blame them entirely because, again, I allowed it. But how many of you guys out there are allowing it? And I was only doing it too because I had this picture perfect idea in my head of, oh, I'm going to be, you know, 28 years old and I don't have any kids and I'm not married and I'm still renting. And yeah, I'm only focusing on the negative things that I have. But then on my social media, I'm seeing a bunch of people I know who have all these other things that I want, like families and kids. But are they really happy though? And they're not. It's true, they're not. Like, I know several people who are married who I've spoken to who have told me, no, that's just for social media. And though I don't have that person to be like, oh, happy anniversary with, or take my Christmas pictures with, or bring home to Thanksgiving, or just watch a movie at night with, I've come to the realization that I'd rather, much rather be alone than be dating and wasting my time right now. It's just, especially with the type of energy that I've been getting for the last few years, I just would rather, for the first time ever, focus on myself and just not play the game. I don't want to play the game anymore. I want to do things for me. And, you know, who knows what the future holds, but as of right now, that's just not even on my priority list. So I'm going to wrap that up, but I hope that that's helped some of you. Maybe bring you some clarity. Like, it took me years to figure this out and to understand that it's not a type, it's not a person. I need to focus on myself and be happy with myself, because why am I going to waste my time just to get anybody so I can say that I have that. It's just not worth it. And I hope that this helps some of you out there, you know, just kind of really think about it. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but these are my experiences, and I wouldn't say that I'm not like a man hater or anything. I just decided that I want to love myself more, because at the end of the day, when I look at each one of those relationships, that's exactly what that person was doing, was loving themselves more. That's my dryer. And it's time for me to devote that time to myself and love myself more. Bye.